Hi, gorgeous. Welcome back to the Bright Life podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Johnson, and I thought it would be fun for this week and the next few weeks to give you a tiny taste of each chapter of my new book, Shine Bright. And so I'm not going to repeat what's in the book, but I'm going to give you my favorite pieces from each chapter so you can get a taste of it and see if it's something that would resonate with you to read further. So if you are interested, it is on Amazon. You can listen to the audiobook, which I narrate, on Audible and go that direction, or you can get it on Kindle. And the first chapter of Shine Bright is called Born to Shine. I set the stage by sharing why it is so important that you use your light, that you take up space, that you use your voice. We talk about where we have inherited these fears around shining, especially as women, through generations, through biology, through behavior, picking up on what our caretakers showed us about that, how they felt using their voices. And we really go into why it's so normal if you have any hesitance around sharing and shining and using your voice, and why it doesn't mean you're shy, why it doesn't mean you're awkward, why it's actually probably the most normal response you can have given the kind of feedback and responses and even discrimination that women have experienced through the ages around using their voice, and that so many of our sisters and other women are still experiencing today around the world. So first we kind of take you through why that's so normal, but then why it's still so important that you do speak up if you feel the call to build a business, to become a speaker, to start a podcast or write a book, or it doesn't even have to be a businessy type thing. Maybe you want to share your art. Maybe you want to teach little kids how to dance. Maybe you want to teach a language. So it can really be from this place of, it doesn't have to be like I'm going to go and leave my corporate job and pursue this, other job. It can just be wanting to do more of what lights your heart up, or gives you the confidence to have a hard conversation, to own your worth in a negotiation, to ask for a raise, to say what you really think, to get the credit that you deserve. So there's so many applications for shining. So for the listeners who are like, well, I don't know if I necessarily want to have a podcast, you don't have to. You can shine in whatever way it works for you, even if it's inside your own walls of your home with your family, setting the example for your children, etc. So in this episode, I thought it would be fun to share just a few reasons why it's so important for all of us that you shine, that you use your voice. In the chapter in the book, I also share why it's important just for you and your own health and vitality to shine. But I think a lot of women worry a little bit that it's like selfish to do what they really want, to share from their heart, to take up space, to get loud. And so one of the biggest things I want to dismantle in this first chapter is that's not the case, that actually it's one of the least selfish things you can do to shine. And so in this episode, I want to share a few of those things with you to just give you the confidence and boost you need, and reminder why it's so critical that you shine. Okay? So the first thing that I want you to think about when it comes to sharing your work, your message, your story, is that there is someone out there right now who is struggling, and you have the answer. You know the path. And so if you have been holding back because you think, well, I don't want to get too loud, there's so many people out there, like who am I to be the special one, things like that. There are people out there that are trying approaches that don't work because they don't know the way through, and you do. So maybe you've navigated something in your life. It could be maybe moving to a new place, and you know how to set things up and to build a community and to find your way to a new grocery store or anything like that. You could be helping someone who right now has just landed their feet in a new city and is feeling alone and isn't sure how to meet that community or those first friends, who isn't sure how to get their bearings, and yet you have done it, and you could offer that light and that path to them. Maybe you've navigated some kind of health issue, or you've helped a loved one who has, and you know the exact steps you took to navigate through that. Maybe you've gotten fitter and stronger and healthier in your own life, and so you could help someone else just the way you would tell a friend. Here's what I did. Here's what finally worked for me. Here's what the challenges were that I overcame. Because there's someone right now who is praying for an answer, and you might not even realize that you are their answer. You are their solution that God or the universe or life or whatever you call it has planned to help this person from point A to point B. How incredible that you could make a difference in someone's life based on what you know now today. What you know today is enough, and you never know the ripple effect that that will create in their own life, for their spouse, for their children, seeing them set a new example, for their friends, for their workplace, and how that ripples out throughout the world. So you just having the knowledge that you have today in something that you've overcome, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to share with others, something that you do differently, it's enough to really help someone today who in this very moment is in their home, is journaling their frustrations, is feeling like not themselves again, is wishing for their loved ones to understand. And you do, and you get it, and you could make a difference today. So you playing small or dimming your light, the only thing it does is prevent other people from getting the help they need. So even if you don't want to do it for you, do it for her, do it for them. Okay, that's like the number one thing that I always remember is like shining is not about you and me, it's about her, it's about them, it's about our other friends and sisters out around the world, that your unique message could somehow help. I know that's like a crazy thought that like you have something inside of you that could help someone else, but how often have you had a day where seeing just like a little quote or an Instagram reel or something that you read, maybe a lyric in a song, was like the thing you needed to hear that day? And even though it was probably small for the person who created it, for you it was like the unlock to exactly what you needed to hear. You could do that for someone else. Like, how amazing is that? And you never know, so get out there and shine for her. The second thing that I always think about is that there are people who have everyone else in the world out there as an expert, and yet there is a voice missing from the conversation, and that voice is yours. So if you've ever thought to yourself, there's too many people already doing what I would do, or what am I going to add to the conversation? To me, I'm like, you are the exact thing that's missing from the conversation. Because think about the way you are with your friends or family members. Like, I don't know about you, but I follow completely different people than even my closest family members when it comes to health, when it comes to travel, when it comes to finance. Like, sure, we all maybe talk about our ideas and, learn from each other. But even when I think about my husband and I, like, we both love different fitness approaches. We love different apps. We follow different YouTubers. The way that we both eat works differently for different bodies. And so the same thing for you when it comes to your message. Maybe there's someone out there who's already doing the same thing, generally speaking. That's fine, but that's not the same way that you would do it. You could give two people the exact same idea. You could say, go write a book. And two people will come out with a completely different novel, different characters, different plot line. You could give two people the same idea of like, go start a interior design business. And their business will turn out completely different. Both of them will have different styles, different colors, different pricing, different types of clients that they want to work with. And so the same goes for whatever way is speaking to your heart that you want to shine. The way you'll do it is so different than anyone else who's already doing it out there. Even if you feel like people are similar, you have a unique personality and experiences and history and things that you will bring to the table and ways that you will do it that no one can replicate exactly the same. And that means you are like the perfect fit for the humans who do resonate with you. You are almost like that puzzle piece, and they've been trying to go and figure out all these other options, but nothing quite fits. And it's because you and the way that you're made and the way you see the world is the exact fit for them. And so once you connect with them, it's finally going to land for them. It's finally going to make sense. And so I just want you to always remember that, like, it doesn't matter how many other people are out there. Like, even think about this. You know how many people have a personal development podcast? Like, there's, I don't know, thousands, millions maybe at this point. But no one is saying things or seeing the world exactly the same way. And so everyone gets to resonate and tune in with the people that really are a match for them in that particular season. And I want you to always know that the same applies to you, and you are that fit and that match and that like lock and key for someone else who's finally going to get it and resonate with you. So it's very important that you remember that. And then the third little piece that I'll leave you with is, if you really want to play it out, okay, let's say that you are nervous to take up space, and so you hold back and you shine your light. Imagine the difference in a world where every single person does that versus a world where people do share their ideas, however imperfectly they share, where they share what they're excited about, what they're working on, where they take a chance on the business idea that's been in their heart, where they speak up for themselves, where they teach their children and their daughters how to do the same. The world would be so different from some world or version of reality where no one shares, where everyone hides, where everyone plays a little smaller, while people dim their light or their ambitions or hold back because they don't want to seem too big or too shiny. I don't know about you, but like, I would rather live in the world where everyone is sharing their ideas and is excited, and obviously that, there's not every single idea maybe is completely valid or fleshed out, or we'll have challenges along the way in doing that. But the energy is so different if it's this one of collaboration and enthusiasm and an outpouring of creativity and ideas and novels and podcasts and screenplays, versus one where everyone thinks, there's already people out there, like, who am I to add to this? I'll just hold back. I'll keep it inside my heart. I won't share. Like, such a different world and such a different reality. And so as I write and pose the question in my book, it's like, what kind of world would you rather live in? And what kind of world would you rather help create? And so the task and the call is on you. If you have a story that you want to share, when I speak about this, if you just have this still small voice in your heart that knows what that thing is, and maybe it doesn't fit exactly into the box of the examples that I give, but like, there is something in you that knows the way that you would use your voice, would be creative, would share your heart, and you have that and you've been holding back. I hope you remember these things. I hope you remember that, number one, there is someone out there praying, hoping for a solution today that you have. And you might be the literal answer to their prayer, and you don't even know it yet, and neither do they, but that's why you have to get out there. Number two, I want you to remember that some people will only resonate with you, the way you say things, the experiences you have, the part of the world you live in, the way that you think about and perceive the world, the way you write, the way we all would do it so differently. And so someone is trying these other approaches that don't work, but you are the one that they will finally resonate with, that it will finally land with. And so never feel like there's too much already out there, because until we have your voice and your story, we're missing one, and it's yours. And then the third piece is, what kind of world would you rather live in and help create? Is it one where people hold back and are shy and don't want to take up space and don't want to shine? Or is it one where everyone shines and gets bigger and brighter together and plays a bigger game because they see other people doing it as well? We have to be the example. We have to be the ones, if we feel this call, to show our sisters, our nieces, our friends, our daughters how it's done, and take the steps forward that we can see so that they can go even further in their generation. So it begins with us. And if this resonates, then definitely check out my book, Shine Bright. I want to thank a few of the people who've already left reviews. Thank you so much to Gabrielle, to Keisha, to Gina, to Myrna, to Kelly. I'm so grateful for you. I'll continue to give little shout outs as I see your reviews come through. So if you have the book and you feel like it's resonated with you, please do leave a review, and I'd love to give you a little shout out on future episodes of the podcast or videos. And thank you again for being here, and we're just embarking on this journey where we're all going to create a bigger, brighter, better world together. And it starts with us, and it starts with being brave enough to use our voice even when it's scary, and think of the person on the other side.